7:38. We have 53 still in downtown. Upper 60s expected for a high today, and possibility of some rain moving in tonight. And then also 100. They say 100% chance, Pete. I don't know if that's how does that happen that a meteorologist is actually going to be 100% correct.
Well, they sound like they're pretty certain.
Yeah, right. I mean, you used to work with me. You used to work with meteorologists. I mean, how often were they right?
Oh, more often than people think, but they remember the misses more than the hits.
Yeah, exactly. Who was we were just talking about some of the stuff because Pete works for the IODOT, but in your former life you were a sports broadcast or sports reporter or broadcaster. What do you call it? What was it?
I was a sports director, anchor, and then for most of it over there, I was the executive producer and news anchor.
Wow, sounds like big responsibility. Who, who do you remember who the weather person was?
Oh man, there was quite a few of them. Ryan, Ryan Burchett, Don Harmon, Monty Allen going way back, Kevin Skarupa, man, Adam Frederick, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You worked with all of them?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I was there for over 14 years, so.
Wow. We were just talking about Monty, because remember when Monty did?
Actually, that was like, that ended like months before I started. So I was never there to witness it live, but I have heard many, many stories.
Oh, because Monty would go out and do some crazy things. People would say, "Hey, come out like like jet ski or
Right.
or air. What do they get those things? You look like Iron Man when you're flying in the water
Sure.
and shooting water out, and it shoots you in the air and all that."
Yep.
So he did some crazy stuff, and they had to stop doing it, I think, because of liability reasons.
Yeah.
Monty used to get hurt a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I just missed out on that fun.
Yeah. Huh. But now, how long you been with the IODOT?
Funny, about 14 years and 2 or 3 weeks.
Really? Well,
Yep.
congratulations. So,
Thank you.
yeah. Carol says hi this morning. So,
Hello, Carol.
But Pete gives us an update on what's going on with the IODOT. And of course, it's been a busy summer with different things going on around the area. But aren't we getting close to wrapping things up?
On some projects, yeah, and it's still a busy fall. Charles City, all the paving work is done. The big thing right now in town is getting the new traffic signals, while getting them powered up, which they do have power to them now. And from the schedule we heard from the contractor, the programmer who comes in and programs the lights should be in today. So depending on how things go, hopefully those things will be up and running with their new program and getting traffic through where it needs to be. I'd, be very cautious and say by the end of the week. Hopefully it's up and running in the next couple days, but it should be done. So be aware of that those traffic signals will be lit up and back into effect. Then east of town, up to the Chickasaw County line, they are putting in rumble strips, and they should be done with that by the end of the week. So that project is, like you said, just about wrapping up. The bridge down by Rockwall on US 65, hopefully by a week from Friday, that thing will be opened up. So that's good news. US 218 in Floyd, as we mentioned last week, the detour is down, so that's good news. We're still doing some work around the bridges, and they have some other small jobs to be done, but will affect traffic a little bit. So just watch for that. That hopefully should be done by a week from Friday as well. The work at the interchange is still going on at Floyd there at US 218. They're working on some of the county side roads. The median crossovers are done. They'll be put into place next year when we move traffic so we can really start getting going on some of the work in that area. But since those are done, we will probably be moving traffic to the inside lanes. They're in the outside lanes right now. Probably move them to the inside lanes later this week so we can do some work over in the ditches in that area. Bridges in Belmont, as we mentioned, all year, that's going to be taking us into late November, so that's still going on. And Iowa 9 between Fertile and I-35, we have, that's been open for quite some time, but the contractor will be back in to put in some asphalt shoulders. We don't know exactly when, but it should be in the next couple of weeks. So we'll keep you updated as to when they move in.
Well, there you go. And when is it? Because we've talked about this before. The snow plows. I hate to talk about it right now, but is it this week that you guys have at least one plow with things ready to go in case that one stuff flies?
Yep, by Friday. We
Is
will
that
have
right?
one plow fully ready to go.
Oh boy, I tell you, got plenty of sand and all that other stuff, brine that you put on.
Yep, we actually stock all of our salt sheds throughout the state in the spring.
Oh,
Things, are a lot cheaper in the spring. Obviously, it's like anything else. When you need it in the fall, winter, that's when it's in high demand. So that's when the prices are higher. So we stock up all of our sheds and make sure they're full in the spring.
oh, okay. Well, that's good to know because
Yeah,
we're probably going to need it because according to the squirrels, they are going crazy with their nuts this week.
you've been talking about these squirrels a lot, Jay. I think you're depending on them a little too much.
Well, the funny thing is, because I got this pesky little squirrel yesterday. He had a nut, a walnut that
Yep.
he had peeled all the outside layer of it. And when I went out to the garage, there was nothing there by the door. But when I came back to the door and I went in the house, I'm like, what is that walnut doing there on that little threshold in the doorway? Well, I told my wife, I said, did you hear anything? She goes, I thought I heard something by the door. I didn't know what it was, though. She didn't go check it. It was a squirrel putting his nut right there in the door.
Well, maybe he wanted you to store it for him.
Well, I'm not going to store his nuts for him.
Then when he gets hungry, he can come and scratch on the door and you can feed him.
Right. Open the door. Here you go, little squirrel.
Right.
Sammy the squirrel.
That must be what he wants.
And the reason it brought it up is because every time I'm on the talking to you, there's a squirrel about every day. He's running around. He's got nuts that I don't know where he's taking them, but he's hiding them pretty good.
Well, same thing. Maybe he wants you to feed him from the studio in the winter.
There's a tree right outside the studio. He climbed way up there with a nut one time. It almost fell out of the tree. I thought he was gonna, because he got on a branch. It wasn't very sturdy. And so he was, and I said, well, they always say how much snow we're going to get is how high the squirrels store their nuts. Well, we're going to have one heck of a winter if they're doing that.
Let's hope he's just being very, very cautious and just being prepared for the worst.
Oh my goodness. I'm not kidding. He was like way up in the top of the tree.
Wow. Last I saw, the next 6 to 10 days are supposed to be at or above average temperature. So I'm just going to deal with that for now.
Right. Yeah. Don't want to look too far ahead. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, Pete, have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. Oh, hey, and you know what's coming up this weekend? A big weekend this weekend.
Uh-oh. What's coming up?
It's my anniversary.
Oh, that is a big weekend. Congratulations.
Yeah, I know.
How many years?
28.
Nice.
Can you believe that? She stayed with me for 28 years.
Say, Deb's pretty patient.
All right, that's enough, Pete. All right, look at the time. 7:46. Pete, we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jay.
That's the good stuff.